Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another great episode of Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Idris, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. The Kingdom of Bahrain is committed to its ongoing efforts to implement more plans and programs which aim at preserving the ozone layer, which shields the Earth against ultraviolet radiation. And to speak more about that, we are pleased to be joined here at the studio by the Chief of Hazardous Chemicals Management Sectors and National Ozone Officer at the Supreme Council for Environment, Engineer Hasan Mubarak. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So I'd like to start by asking you, what can you tell us about the ozone layer and its problem with depletion?
Let me first thank you for this opportunity. Actually, the ozone layer is a region of the high ozone concentration in the stratosphere between 15 to 35 kilometers above the Earth's surface. It's protect us from the UV radiation, ultraviolet radiation come from the sun, and it is actually one of the important layer that we need to be safe on the ground, on the earth itself. This layer, actually it is invisible shield, and in the mid of 70s, some scientists, they explore accumulation of gases, especially halogens like chlorine and bromine, affect the layer. And in the 1985 around, some scientists found or discover a big hole in that layer and thinning around the globe actually in that layer, which is allowed to access through it a lot of UV radiation coming to the earth, which of course will be harmful for the all people, plants, animals, even microbes, and will be big damage if not treated well within the decades. And this is what happened.
Very eloquently put. And how exactly does this depletion occur? Like, how do these chemicals actually cause a depletion in the atmosphere?
Let me first start talking about these chemicals themselves. Let me tell you, these very popular chemicals. They are in all our homes, schools, even our works. It's like common products like ACs, air conditioners, refrigerators, firefighting materials, even detergents at homes or solvents. Even inhalers actually for the some people they have asthma. These chemicals contain all of these products, so popular everywhere. Actually, they come in some groups, some famous group like CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, or hydrochlorofluorocarbon like SCFCs or halogens. These chemicals actually, as I said, we use them in products. Right now, we call these products as necessary, like ACs. We cannot live without ACs, especially in high ambient countries like our countries here in Bahrain or in GCC. So this is for essential uses. But what happened is we found these kind of chemicals contain, as I said in the beginning, chlorine and bromine. And this kind of chlorine has ability, when it's vented to the atmosphere, to destroy around 100,000 atoms of ozone, and also have ability to stay in the atmosphere between 70 to 100 years. So you can imagine the much of destruction on destroying that will do, I mean, in the layer. Because of that, the globe tried to do something to prevent venting these chemicals.
Wow, and I mean, definitely I can imagine that something like that can have a lot of far-reaching consequences. And on that note, I do want to ask you, what are the consequences that we can expect if this issue continues?
Actually, today we have a lot of studies. Let me just grab one of them to say that said, without trying to control the hole in the ozone layer and to treat the issues there, we expect 2 million of the skin cancer in a year. And till 2100, we expect around 434 million of skin cancers because of the UV came from the sun. Beside that, we talk about not less than 2.3 million deaths from the same reason. Also, it's affect the cataracts, so it's cause the blindness for the people. So also that study said within 2100, if it's not the ozone layer solved, this will affect to around 63 million of people to be blindness, or at least they have cataracts. So this is some of the consequences that we expect from leaving the ozone hole without any treaty.
So it really is a very
Serious.
crucial, yes, a serious and very global issue. But moving on to something maybe a little bit on the bright side, what has the Kingdom of Bahrain done so far in order to protect and preserve the ozone layer?
This is very important, actually. Let me tell you first, the globe, some countries in 1985 adopt a convention called Vienna Convention for Protection of Ozone Layer. And after 2 years of that, another protocol called Montreal Protocol, and actually in 1987, Montreal Protocol for the substances that deplete ozone layer as adopted also. Bahrain, one of the first country in the region that certify these both treaties in 1990. And with that, Bahrain enacts some regulations, national regulations, to save the ozone layer by preventing the equipments which contain CFCs, especially CFCs, because CFCs in that time was the most harmful for the ozone layer. So as I said in the beginning, we have them in many applications like ACs, refrigerator, firefighting. So we try in Bahrain to see where is the most uses and application for these chemicals, and try to put a schedule, gradual schedule to ban them and offer alternatives for that, like friendly, environment-friendly products actually. I can say we success to achieve 100% achievement in 2010 by announce that we don't have any more CFC in Bahrain in that time. So this was the first step. After that, the alternative also was HCFCs, which is still can deplete the ozone layer, of course with different of the level of CFC, but still it's depleting substances. So Bahrain put a strategic plan, will continue till 2030, started in 2013 actually, and it's continuous till 2030. That strategic, or that plan, will work to ban gradually all CFCs by product. And let me tell you one point here is very important. We don't want to feel the citizens or residents in Bahrain with this any change. I mean, when we are phasing down or phasing out this kind of chemicals. Why? Because in the protocol or Montreal Protocol itself, there's a fund try to help some countries. They try to save ozone layer by funding them to change to alternative, which is friendly, as I said, friendly products. And this is what we do in Bahrain. As an example, if we have a factory which is produce ACs or foams or any kind of products that contain depleting ODS, ozone depleting substances, we came to that factory and tell them, okay, we want you to change to alternative, more environmentally friendly, and we will fund you on that 100%, which has come from that fund in the MLF, multilateral fund actually. And this is what happened. So if we change to alternative, the citizens or even the residents in Bahrain, they will fund in the market only the alternative products. And because of that, we say it phase down gradually. We don't do it as one shot or one time. And this is what's happening. So Bahrain take these policies, and actually it's very successful. I can say today in 2020, we announced 40% phasing out from SCFCs. Next year, or let us say 2025, the year after, we're going to announce 73.5 phasing out of SFCs, and the remaining will be only for some strategic projects, will remaining till 2030, which is around 2.5, or let us say 25% or less than that. So I think we are on track, and we are contributing with the world, all countries, to saving this layer.
Brilliantly said. And I mean, I'm really happy to see how much thought and how much planning has gone into this, because I mean, obviously it's something that's above us, protecting us from above, and it's always promising to see how the Kingdom of Bahrain is very proactive in taking steps to make sure that the country and even contribute on a global scale to protect the environment. Now, from 1990 until this day, surely the Kingdom of Bahrain has achieved so many projects to protect the ozone layer. So are there any highlights or anything that you think particularly stands out?
Yeah, actually, I'm so proud to say that we are, in Bahrain, has a lead in the region when we are talking about ozone layer. One of the important projects that we apply and launch it in 2018 is the first reclamation center, national reclamation center, to recover the refrigerant instead of venting them in the atmosphere, and reclaim them, like kind of recycling the refrigerant, so we can reuse them again. So this is a bigger project actually, and we success to achieve a lot of targets that we put for this project. This is one of the projects. Another project actually, we are with cooperation with Ministry of Education, also with some society like Bahrain Engineering Society. We work on an important project actually to train and license the technicians who work in rack sector. Rack mean refrigerator and AC sector. These people, to enhance their performance, to give them the best practices based on the something called IFGAS regulation, which is international regulation, with best practices of using and handling and maintenance the ACs and these equipment which contain refrigerants. The goal is to prevent or minimize the venting of the refrigerant from the compressor or from these products to atmosphere, which is harmful to the ozone and deplete the ozone layer. So they are recovering the refrigerant. We train them on that, to recover the refrigerant, put them in containers and send them to the National Reclaim Center to reclaim that refrigerant to be a virgin again and reuse it again instead of. So we have very economic profits from this side, because instead of we buying a new or virgin refrigerant, we have it now in hand. Beside that, also we can save the environment, which is this is the goal from the beginning. One of the projects also that we are proud to talk about is our cooperation with the customs, because customs, as we say, as you know, they are the first people in our ports. They receive the products. So we, since 15 years now or more, we train more than 1,000 officers from the custom officers to how to deal with these kind of products, how to know this is ozone depleting substances product or no, how to check them, how to deal with them. And this is very important to control this kind of importation and to save also the environment. We also have recently launching a portal called e-licensing system. Actually, I'm again proud to talk about this project. We launched it this year, January, and let me tell you, and this is the first time to tell that, next week on Sunday, we are launching the last phase of this project and include all importer or companies or established who work in chemicals and refrigerants in Bahrain to be included in this phase. Now we have 100% completion of this project. This e-licensing system will control and track all kind of refrigerant will be imported to Bahrain, and to check who's the user, how to store them, and to see if there is any venting or no, and calculated and reporting to the system. Everything is systematic will be right now. So actually a lot of a project that we implement and achieved.
Well, congratulations. I mean, there's a lot of innovation going on, and again, it's always really promising to see how much thought and how much strategy goes into solving an issue as large as this. And clearly, I think it's safe to say that we are on the right path.
Yeah.
And now to conclude, what future goals does the Kingdom of Bahrain seek to achieve to promote the use of alternative technologies and to provide sustainable alternatives and for the citizens and residents of Bahrain?
Thank you again very much for this question. Actually, let me tell you first, very important point. The last 40 or 50 years ago, technology in these last 50 years, especially in the rack sectors, especially in ACs, refrigerators, contain very safe refrigerant. It's harmful as environment for the ozone layer, but it's safe. Now, with the alternatives that we looking for future, actually we need to look more about the safety in these technologies. So what I want to say, we would like as Supreme Council for the Environment to build kind of a strengthened community, let us say, partnership. And this kind of partnership to be we have to raise the awareness, and this is what we do now. We are trying with cooperation with thanks from here to the General Directorate of Civil Defense in Bahrain, also Ministry of Industry and Commerce, what we work together to try to put new standards for this kind of a product, which will be more environmental friendly, but we need to take care more about the safety of these products. And from here, I would like to say to all people who live in Bahrain, citizens or residents, we need you to be more sure about the technician that will come to your home or to your office or to school, that he is permitted and licensed from the Supreme Council for the Environment, and he has a badge with his photo, with his CPR and everything. Why? Because only that licensed technician has the enhancement and the professionality to touch your AC in the future with the new technologies that will come to us. So this is what I want to declare from here. We are working very hard with all ministries and establishments to have this project, the technician training and licensing. This is for our benefits, for Bahrain benefits, and the people in Bahrain. And we know, and 100% sure, these people only they can handle well our equipments and to be in safe. Actually, here we are saving our ozone layer, we are saving the environment and our earth, and also we're saving our health and our homes.
Very brilliantly said. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for that.
Viewers, stay tuned. We'll be back with more right after this.